Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep, and I mean literally, into the submerged, clockwork chaos of a brilliant animated concept, the Jetsons.
Let's just start with the series tagline, because it perfectly sets the tone. In a world wound too tight, one bubble pops the cork. You can just feel the tension in that, right? It's like this whole society is on the brink, and any tiny little thing could make it all unravel.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll explore this incredible sunken world. Then, we'll meet the family and see how they've been reimagined. After that, we'll get into the chaos, how one little invention causes a huge mess, uncovers a shocking truth, and then, believe it or not, ends up mirroring our own lives. It's going to be a wild ride.
Okay, first things first, let's set the stage. We're in the year 2147, and humanity is living at the bottom of the ocean. But forget everything you think you know about the future. This isn't a world of slick touchscreens and AI. No, this is a symphony of whirring cogs, hissing steam, and ticking chronometers.
So, why are things this way? Well, the entire premise hinges on this single cataclysmic event they call the Great Unwinding. Think of it like a global EMP that didn't just cause a blackout. It fried every last circuit on the planet, a total reset button. Humanity had to rebuild society from scratch with nothing but steam, brass, and whatever mechanical ingenuity they could muster.
And this is where they live, Abyssal Spire. Now, this isn't just a backdrop. It's a world you can almost feel. Everything, and I mean everything, requires a crank, a wind, or maybe a little prayer. Your status in society is literally measured by how many backup springs you're carrying, just in case something breaks. Can you imagine that?
So you have to wonder, how did our favorite family of the future adapt to this very demanding new future? The names are familiar for sure, but their daily grind is a whole different beast. And what's so cool is how their core personalities are still there. They're just struggling with mechanical problems instead of digital ones. George? He's still that stressed-out middle manager, but instead of pushing buttons, he's a mid-level crank-turner. And my personal favorite, Rosie the robot, is now, get this, Rosie the Riveter bot. And she's unionized. You'll love to see it.
Okay, so how does this all come together in a story? Well, the pilot episode, called Bubble Trouble, just perfectly sets the chaotic, inventive, and hilarious tone for the whole series.
It all kicks off, as you might expect, with one of Elroy's brilliant but maybe not so thought-out inventions. He just wanted to make a better cleaning tool. The problem is, his math was off by just a few helical turns, and instead of dissolving grime, it dissolves, well, everything else. And what follows is just this amazing slapstick chain reaction. The bubble gets loose, and it starts causing absolute mayhem. It dissolves George's boss's limo sub, it unravels the corsets at one of Jane's fancy parties. It's a mess. The whole family has to chase this thing down before it literally erases the entire city.
But, and this is a big but, the consequences of Elroy's little invention don't stop there. See, one rogue bubble escapes, and it leads to the show's first, absolutely massive, reality-bending twist.
So, picture this. This one tiny bubble floats all the way up to the surface, and up there it hits this mysterious, giant ship just hovering in the sky. And when that ship starts sinking down into their ocean world, the whole city panics. They think they're being invaded by, and I quote, star weeders from the sky.
And this is where the show's writing just shines. The so-called Zorblaxians, they're not aliens, not even close. They are the cryo-frozen descendants of survivors from the Titanic. Their invasion vessel was really a makeshift habitat that kept them alive in orbit for over 100 years. So Elroy's bubble didn't start a war. It accidentally ended their century-long journey and brought them home.
So their journey wasn't across space, it was across time. A century in orbit mutated them into these strange beings the Jetsons see. So their ship sinking isn't a crash, it's a homecoming. It's this incredible, shocking historical echo, all made possible by a subatomic cleaning bubble. Wild. Okay, but here's where the show pulls back the curtain and reveals its most profound layer. It's not just about steampunk and time-lost survivors, it's actually a really sharp critique of our own lives, right now.
And how do they reveal this? Through another one of Elroy's inventions, of course. It's called the temporal tick-tock, and it uncovers the show's biggest secret. Their mechanical, clockwork struggles are a direct, one-to-one echo of our 21st century digital lives. Their future is really just our present, only it's cranked a lot louder and has way more rust.
I mean, just look at the parallels they draw. The exhausting daily commute, it's universal. Georgia's steam-powered eel sled getting stuck in gridlock is basically just Los Angeles rush hour, but with more krill.
Or how about this one? That endless, anxiety-inducing churn of social media, it's the exact same thing in their world, it's just happening on gear-driven gossip mills at one of Jane's tea parties instead of on a smartphone.
And the best one? That promise of technology making life easier, only for it to constantly break down in the most ridiculous ways? Yeah, that frustration is timeless, whether you're dealing with glitchy smart home gadgets or slapstick clockwork contraptions.
So, this brings us to the point of the pendulum. What's it all for? Why draw all these incredible parallels? What is the ultimate message of this whole clockwork satire?
Well, the show is basically using its steampunk world to cleverly dissect the burdens and, the beauties of our own modern age. It's making the argument that our problems aren't really about the specific technology we use, it's about the very human patterns we get stuck in. The constant pressure, the social anxieties, the sheer maintenance our complex lives require.
And there's this one line from the show that just nails its core message. The future's not foretold, it's felt. Notice the echoes, or wind up repeating them. It's such a powerful call to be more aware, a warning that if we don't pay attention to the cycles we're in, we're all just destined to keep winding the same broken clock, over and over again.
And that leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought. If their world is just a mechanical mirror of our digital one, reflecting all the same anxieties and unnoticed routines, it really forces us to ask ourselves, what happens when we forget to check our own windings? What crucial patterns in our own lives are we completely failing to see?